TimeRust.com proudly presents the Time Rust Brain Trust. Hey everybody, and thank you for joining us on the next chapter of the Time Rust Brain Trust Award Show!
Show!
Yeah! Guess who's back from his nap?
Marquise!
The Sleeping Giant returns!
More air horns.
Alright, so now it's time for the comics portion!
Comic books!
We're trying to find out what was the comic of the year. We're not doing single issues, we're not doing page, we're not doing panel, we're not doing artist, we're not doing writer! We're just doing straight up.
We're not doing single issue? Oh, you kind of just ruined it.
Dude, you just wrecked my recommendation.
No.
This is comic series.
Oh,
We're not
serious?
doing we're
Series.
not doing single issue.
We don't have time for that
Yeah.
nonsense.
We don't have time to talk about a single issue. It's
a single issue.
it's the comic you like.
Yeah, we don't have time. That's why there were only.
Marquise, we've
Five
gone all
series.
wrong about this.
No, I feel dumb.
Yeah,
But
because,
continue.
Yeah,
Just-
how
I
many
got
of us?
Steven, I can wing it.
How many of us here actually read single issues? Right. So,
I mean, I remember specific things about certain issues.
exactly. What? But then you remember about that particular comic because that's your
That's my
favorite
thing.
comic.
Yeah, it's
No.
my jam.
That's your comic. You like that whole comic series.
Yeah.
So therefore,
Like I read
you
single
like
issues.
that comic.
I buy single issues.
So if you say I like
But
comic 17 versus 18, you don't have to have that worry anymore because just that comic is your favorite.
Well, I got my recommendation down.
Okay. You're like, well, then I just like this comic.
I've got my recommendations. Let's do this.
All right.
all right,
Let's do this thing.
All right, let's bring out the Battle Royal.
all right.
We're going to start to my
You really
left
have
with
so
Eli.
much fun editing this.
Here
This is gonna be
comes
great.
the into the ring steps Detective Comics, Batman, Dark Knight,
Oh.
Batman and Robin, and Justice League.
The Batman team! The Batman steps in the ring as Batman himself.
Basically
Okay,
everything Batman.
So we've got Detective Comics,
So the Dark Knight, basically.
Batman, Dark Knight, Batman and Robin,
I hate you so much.
and Justice League.
Wow.
Those are my five favorite comics.
This is going to be like a 5-hour podcast.
This would be a Batman podcast.
All right, those are your picks.
Steve.
Okay, I could do the same thing. I almost could.
You're like, Green Lantern.
Green Lantern Corps, Green Lantern New Guardians, Red Lanterns. No, I'm not gonna pull an Eli. Though I will put it'll be Green Lantern New Guardians because it's the Kyle Rayner show and it's amazing. Its writing has gotten a lot better. Its art has gotten a lot better. I also throw my hat in on High School of the Dead. That is an amazing manga. And let's see. You know, I caught up on Walking Dead, which is better than catching up on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Because the show sucks.
Yeah, it does. So yeah, that's
FYI, I will not let that show be in the top 5 TV shows. That's just a precursor.
Oh!
I didn't even put it on my list. So yeah, the one that I've read the most that
Good,
I mean,
okay.
I've read. I separate manga from comics largely because manga is different in my mind, and I've read
It's a Japanese comic.
like
Yeah.
60 different series of manga this
Right.
year because I had the time. But I'm going to throw my hat in largely with the Green Lantern franchise of New Guardians, Green Lantern Corps, and Green Lantern.
You're going to support that to the
yeah,
end.
I'm going to support
say
Green Lantern.
New Guardians to the
New
end.
Guardians to the end, baby.
All right, Marquise.
All right. Mighty Avengers.
Okay.
We got Naruto because Naruto's been amazing. Shippuden's been amazing this year.
And it's winding down in a really epic way.
Yeah. X Factor. the new Avengers, new run of the Avengers, and you know what?
Wait. New. You're talking about Avengers, not New Avengers.
Avengers.
Just the most recent run on the Avengers.
The most recent run on the Avengers.
All right.
And then I'm gonna go with easy on this one. Scott Snyder's Batman's been ridiculously good.
All right, so we're just Batman.
It's the Batman book.
Why don't we just say Batman?
All right.
Batman's it.
Because I mean, as much the 5 books that Eli threw in, they were just Batman. So we'll pick the best of the Batman.
All right, so then we have several nods for Scott Snyder's Batman. Then
Yeah,
that book was ridiculous.
I haven't read it. I haven't read it, but you know, the way you guys talk about it, I've heard good things.
So good.
all right, so I'm going to put in 2 nods for that then.
Mm-hmm.
Green Lantern.
All right. Let's see, going back in. Let's see. I'm putting in Cable and X-Force.
Thor, the God of Thunder. Yeah,
So you're
I gotta give props.
you're an
to
old
Thor.
school Rob Liefeld fan, aren't you?
I'm sorry. You haven't read this year's Cable and X-Force, which is outstanding.
Liefeld, you are not an artist. Moving on.
It's like, how do you get a profile shot with a frontal shot in the same shot? That doesn't make any sense.
Here, let me show you. I'm Rob Liefeld.
The fact that he still has a job in comic
Oh wait,
books
I've got
amazes
4
me.
inches of page left. Let me make their legs longer.
And it's like Captain America suffers from severe back injuries after being drawn in this panel.
Hey, could this guy use more pockets? Because I could give him
He
more
needs
pockets.
way more pockets and pouches.
And muscles.
He needs muscles that are. It's like if you put
And he's on his tiptoes.
all the time.
Everyone has to be on their tiptoes.
All the time.
Because action requires tiptoes.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
And hey, guns, they stick to your hand. Like, so you can hold them.
Adhesive guns. That was the best part I've seen about his art. Where people are like, looks like they're trying to give someone a handshake, but there's a giant pistol the size of like a bus coming out of their hand.
And giant
And it's
guns.
curved. And it's not straight. It's like
it's
curved.
got a strange curve in it, and you're like, what?
And the bullets just come out of these little, like, slits. Like, they fire, like, flat disc bullets or something.
And yeah, it has like that one burst of energy, and just people die, and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. Not even comic magic can make this okay.
Anyway,
Not even the magic.
Rob
of comics.
Liefeld is our top.
He's my top artist.
He's our
pick.
top artist.
Actually, if I had to go for top artists,
That has nothing to do with the
No,
current
it
run
doesn't.
of Cable and X-Force, which
No, it
is
doesn't.
actually
Which is-
outstanding.
Yeah. It's
I
probably
forgot where-
outstanding
on my
just
top
because
5.
he's not in it.
He's not in it at all, and it's Cable and X-Force on the run. It's got Domino and...
Which is a character that he created.
Colossus,
is it
Dr.
not?
Nemesis, Forge, Hope joins the team later on, and Boom Boom.
Boom, boom!
Yeah, it's characters that he helped create, but
Psychic
done
Clown.
well. It's much more interesting.
Except Hope. He didn't help create Hope. Don't
That
give him
Boom
too
Boom
much.
Pow.
Don't give him that.
No, he didn't. No.
He's chicken jacking my style.
What else? Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah. Hawkeye was amazing.
Hawkeye is one of the best books to come out in a long time because it's got that feel of
awesomeness.
Brian Michael Bendis' run on Daredevil, but more down to earth.
No, it's like a street James Bond.
Is it
is.
Hawkeye striking effeminate female heroine poses?
No,
No, it's
No?
Hawkeye. It depends on what you're talking about and who he's with.
I don't know.
Womp womp. Hawkeye, the man whore of Marvel Comics.
Dude, they actually address that, and it's amazing.
It's a running joke, I know.
I love it so much because he gets in trouble.
And they're like,
And
"Oh,
it's
we need to
awesome.
we need to grab this. So we need this person in our team." And like,
Nah.
we've got an issue with this thing that happened between us, and it's not a good idea.
Oh, there was a book with that. It was during Avengers vs. X-Men, and they were like, "We need this person." No. They were like, "Really? Her?" He was like, "What?"
Because he's dating, like, wasn't he dating, like, I don't know if he still is, but was he dating, like, Spider-Woman at that time?
Yeah, and they wanted to bring Moondragon in to help him with
Yeah.
Psychic.
Maybe we
And
shouldn't.
he was like, she was like, Moondragon? Really? He was like, what?
All innocent.
he goes, you're Spider-Woman. You have the pheromones. She goes, but that's my power. Oh, it's hilarious. It was like a fun.
I actually like the one the new Avengers ones were with Wolverine and Spider-Man, and they were fighting the Wrecker. And that's when they all found out that she had pheromones. Spider-Man's like, I love my wife, man. Wolverine's like,
Oh, by the way,
It was awesome. And she's like, well, when I get really nervous, I release these pheromones. And everyone was like, dude, that's not cool. Wolverine's like, I knew something was up. So
What is wrong with Marvel Comics?
no,
Like,
like
what is that?
no, it's hilarious. Though,
it's hilarious because it made for funny group dynamics because they hadn't been a team for very long.
Yeah.
They
weren't used to it.
They were wondering about what the heck is going on.
Everyone's like really, really into Spider-Woman all of a sudden.
All the
like,
guys were.
Yeah, all the guys were like,
And the girls were like,
yeah.
The girls were like, get her away from us. And they're like, what's wrong with?
They're like, she's dangerous.
You like that?
It's that girl versus girl thing. You're like, I don't know about her. She's you gotta watch out for Spider-Woman. She's freaking dangerous around men.
All right, and then the let's see, another one is I give another nod to X Factor because he wrapped it up and his current run. X Factor is one of the best books of all time. I'm sorry.
Bridge.
X Factor is just outstanding. He's been writing it since what?
242 issues of X Factor, Peter.
And it just kept getting better. Like, I read X Factor in the 90s, and it was good. And I was like, government, X-Men, whatever. And then he took it in different directions, and I stopped caring. And then X Factor Madrox, or Madrox X Factor, we want to say, came out, and he just flipped the script. He turned it into a noir investigation comic book series.
That was fun.
Amazing. And it was hilarious.
Well written, and the art was good.
Yeah. It was a whole new beast, and it just went from there, and it kept winning awards, and then he had a stroke, and then kept writing it, and it's still...
And finished it awesome. How he finished it. Gave everyone on their team got a nice send-off to their next endeavor, and set up nicely for the new book that's coming out in January, February.
I forget, is he writing it?
Yes, he is. Peter David is writing it.
Because you can't stop the man. Everyone thought that he was done, and that's what was going to happen, and someone else is going to, and they're just ending it. Nope. He's like, no, I will continue.
When he showed up at Comic-Con, we were like, yes.
That just shows that's a man that's passionate about what he does. And
Yes.
that's what makes a writer good or an artist very good.
And
when they believe in what they can do.
My final recommendation for Comic of the Year is Guardians of the Galaxy New Edition.
Because it's good.
Because it's really good. They added Iron Man, which added that extra little oomph, plus the story with Star-Lord and his secret origin actually added something it needed, kind of brought it all together. And they finally said, listen, Earth is trouble. What the heck's going on with Earth? What turns out that someone just wants to keep it for themselves. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so funny.
It's like, yeah, you guys need to stay away from Earth. Everyone needs to stay away from Earth.
But see, the thing about that I mentioned that is does he not realize that one of the people he was trying to swing them from lives on the planet he wants to rule. It's like, I don't think that person's going to take it that way. And that person has a whole bunch of, and that person has access to a dude with a big hammer.
Yeah. All right, guys, we have way too many to work through. We have one, two.
We've got two front runners.
All right, so right now our front runners are X Factor and Batman. Mm-hmm. We can work through the. Basically, it's going to come down to one of those two. Period. And then I feel that. I mean, you guys can argue with me on this. Then it will probably be. I feel Steve will fight to the death, and Marquise. After that, might be New Guardians. Do you think? Or what do you guys? Or let's discord for number 3 because it's come down to Batman, Scott Snyder's Batman versus X Factor. Mm-hmm. That's what it is because those are the only two. Now, Marquise. They both voted for Batman. Do you give it number... Well, who voted for Batman? You voted for Batman? You voted for Batman. Steve, do you vote for Batman?
What's the choice?
A vote for Batman is a vote for awesome.
Okay, right now, it's Batman. Marquise and I voted for X Factor. Mm-hmm. And then we have, let's see. I'll run through the entire list.
No. We need a top 3.
Well, really, those are the 2 that are tied for first place, and everything else is, got 1 vote. So he admitted. Well, I don't know, Marquise. Is there anything else you'd like to double down upon?
I can go with Steve and give you Green Lantern, and then let's just do it that way.
All right.
Because you know what? Not gonna lie, I do like the Kyle Rayner series of everything right now.
I like the little bit that I've read of the Green Lantern stuff.
So you want to
52 is good.
Oh, you want to double down on New Guardians?
New Guardians?
We're talking Green Lantern.
He's talking overall Green Lantern. I'm talking about New Guardians.
We're talking about New Guardians. We're going for a specific book.
New Guardians.
We're talking Batman.
I haven't read any New Guardians.
Scott Snyder's Batman.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
specific
Batman.
book we're talking about.
Yeah.
X Factor is just X Factor because it's only X Factor.
Yeah.
And we're not saying all of X-Men,
Yeah.
So because also it's definitely not all related to X-Men. So we need to debate this.
I read a couple books from Green Lantern, but I didn't read any New Guardians.
I do like the Kyle Rayner stuff. I do like the fact that he is the White Lantern.
He is a unique character now.
It makes a lot of sense. In that he stayed the White Lantern in the new 52 reboot. Mm-hmm. Because there were so many things that happened in New 52 that in the old universe that changed in the New 52. I'm happy that this kind of has something that Kyle is special.
Yeah,
stayed relevant.
Kyle's never really been a unique. Like the only thing that really made him unique is not the fact that he was a Green Lantern, but who he was and how he was written. Out of all the different writers that have taken hold of that character, they've always stayed consistent with how Kyle is. He's gone through a lot of junk, and things have gone wrong. But he now, even as Ion, he had Green Lantern powers as Ion. He was incredibly strong. He got it taken away. He persevered. He became Ion twice. He was Parallax for a hot second, but now as a White Lantern, as the only White Lantern in the universe, Kyle is now unique, and he gained it through a unique way. He was he's the second living being in existence to master all 7 colors of the spectrum.
I've always thought Kyle was unique. Kyle was unique because he, like it says, he was the torchbearer. When everything went wrong, he was the last light.
He was the one that said it right.
Yeah, he was the light. He held the Green Lantern Corps on his own back. He carried the entire Corps for a year, until they restarted the Corps. He was it. He was the Green Lantern, and that's what made him unique. And that's why I was happy with that book and with New Guardians, that he's special again. He's the torchbearer with all. He's the white light. He is, everything has to go through him now, basically. Like he can go smack up all the Lantern Corps if he really wanted to, and they couldn't stop him.
Yeah, he could. He really could.
So I mean, that's why I like that.
I had a couple that I wanted to give a quick shout out to that didn't quite make my top 5. Batman 66 and also Batman Superman.
Fair enough.
Batman 66 is awesome. It captures all the hilarity of the old 66 TV series, and it's just good Batman antics, stupid gadgets, and ridiculous things. And Batman Superman is only, I think it's 6 issues in now, and it's phenomenal. Just really good writing, really good art, and I've enjoyed that one, but it wasn't enough to make it into my 5.
I guess I give my shout out to Superior Spider-Man because, hey, he's not quite Peter Parker, but he's not quite Doc Ock, and he's all jerk. And it is very well written. Dan Slott is writing the mess out of this book. And then don't get him a good issue with Roberto Ramos, who does incredible art. Those 2 guys together do masterpieces together, and I enjoy it. And then there was Smallville by Brian K. Miller.
Oh yeah, it's
the Smallville.
Really good.
It's
season 11
really
is
good.
amazing.
Season 11 is awesome.
Just out of curiosity, when Superior Spider-Man's running around, in his laboratory, does he wear like the evil genius lab coat that has buttons on the side? Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah, he does.
That's what makes it awesome.
He does have the evil genius lab coat. But yeah, the Smallville run, it's taken where we left off in Smallville season 10, and we're adding new characters. We've met Batman. We've met Wonder Woman. The Justice League has grown. It's like, we see Lex Luthor. We met Otis. I mean,
I don't know who that is.
There's a lot of good
from
stuff in
Superman 1, they brought Otis in from. You remember Superman 1, Otis, Lex Luthor's sidekick, with the Christopher Reeves.
Oh no.
Otis,
Nope.
the bumbling fool.
it. Yeah.
But why?
Well, I guess it's just someone who can humanize Lex Luthor a little bit.
Oh.
And be his
He kind of offsets Lex.
Yeah,
Luthor.
his extreme evil with. You gotta have a dunderhead. That way, you're a dunderhead, but hey, you're my dunderhead.
I never got that. I was
Comic
like,
relief.
Why?
Like in Batman and like Superman the animated series, Mercy offset Lex Luthor because Mercy was sarcasm.
I got Mercy. I don't get the bumbling idiot.
Well, he's not.
That's my thing.
He's not as bad as the 70s.
Yeah, it's
His
not bad.
original
It's
run.
Oh, okay.
He's not as bad as the original Otis, but
Yeah.
he has his moments.
Okay. Well, that's
Which-
the thing. Like having someone around that just fails, like has the potential to fail, goes against everything Lex Luthor's about. That's just me.
Mercy
Mercy would fail.
Mercy
but,
would fail too.
But she gave it a college try.
Yeah. Whereas,
and Otis gives it his college try in the show.
but
The
Otis
fact
is
his name
like
is Otis just kind of offsets me a little bit.
Otis just seems like
Otis is one of those
I'm not
guys
even
that
gonna
Lex
say
is
it.
just kind of stuck with because he knows too much, and Lex doesn't want to kill him.
See, Lex could.
He
And then
pities him. Maybe
I jettison him out into space and
There's
get someone
something-
better.
He's a yes man.
You got to say in the small.
Nothing Lex ever does is bad in the eyes of Otis.
Yeah.
that has to be it. That's the only thing because I can't think of any other reason why you keep him around because
He's just a yes man.
All right, guys, let's go back to the battle royale.
1, 2, 3.
All right, so we've got New Guardians with 2 votes. Batman, Scott Snyder's run, 2 votes. X Factor, 2 votes. Most of this is Marquise's fault.
Batman, New Guardians, X Factor.
They all have their pros and cons.
New Guardians suffered from a slightly shaky start, and it switched 3 different artists when they've now after the Lights Out arc that they got done with Relic, they've got a really solid art team who I forget off the top of my head, but it's always been consistent. Kyle, but the thing about the different writing or writers after Geoff Johns left and things like that, Kyle's still a consistent character. I don't look at Kyle and go, that's not the Kyle I remember from the 90s. It's always the same Kyle Rayner. And that's one thing that really draws me to the character. I mean, he's an artist. He never gives up. He's the torchbearer. He's the one that kept the whole Green Lantern Corps alive, So my vote's with Green Lantern, but Batman probably is a better written book. I don't know.
Batman.
I already voted for Green Lantern.
All right, Marquise, you've read all of these, right?
I've read all 3 books.
All right, let's talk comics. All right,
Okay.
We've read one of these books. These gentlemen here.
Okay.
You've read all 3.
Yeah.
Let's break it down.
Um.
Which one is the best?
Well, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, each one has a very strong quality. The problem again. He started out the problem with New Guardians is they were going through with the art team and a lot of creative differences going along with the Relic arc and tying things up with the White Lantern stuff, the First Lantern, that stuff.
That story arc was
Arc was
weak.
So does it beat Batman or X Factor? Does it beat either? Okay, done. It's out.
Okay.
Batman X Factor. We're talking about the end of an era with X Factor versus what is to be one of the better runs on Batman.
Okay.
I know know, just raising my hands.
I enjoy the mess out of X Factor. Don't get me wrong, I really do. Peter David does a super job. He ended up, he gave all the characters a good end. And Scott Snyder is really just running the mess out of Batman. I think, dare I say, he's doing a better job than Grant Morrison.
Ooh.
And Grant Morrison is their guy for Batman, and Scott Snyder is taking what Grant Morrison laid on and just like he's just destroyed it. I'm happy that if anyone deserved a New 52 reboot, Batman got a great New 52 reboot.
Yep. Night of the Owls.
Night of the Owls. The Court of Owls. The whole Court of Owls.
Death
Night
of
of
the
Owls
Family.
Stuff. This super stuff that really affected Batman. Of course, I love how Scott Snyder has written Batman during the loss of Damian, which Grant Morrison killed him off. So that's unfortunate.
Grant Morrison's a jerk.
He is
because Damian's amazing.
Because Damian was a great character and
that's
he humanized Batman.
I like Damian because it allowed Robin to become Red Robin. Which
Red Robin's awesome.
Red Robin is awesome.
One of my favorite characters.
Damian humanized Batman.
Yeah, he did.
He humanized Bruce Wayne. He made him realize that, hey, I have a family now. I really need to start thinking about what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's not an adopted family. It's a real
This is my
family.
son.
Not to say that adopted families can't
Not
be
to
real
say that
families
he doesn't-
too.
No,
Not
I'm just saying. But he'd been doing it so often, though. No, I'm just saying. He'd been
Nate was
doing
like, it's a real family. It's
a real
kids don't
family.
matter.
No, I mean, he had been doing that so often, though.
Yeah, but now
But not that he didn't love. He doesn't love Dick. And he doesn't love Barbara. And he doesn't love
Tim.
Jason and Tim.
I don't know about Jason.
He loves Jason too.
Jason Todd's a jerk.
He loves Jason
Nobody
too.
loves Jason Todd.
He loves Jason too.
Jason Todd doesn't love
Jason's
Jason
his
Todd.
special. Jason's his middle child, so he has a special type
He's
of
the
love
messed
for
up
Jason.
little child.
Yeah, he's the middle child.
That got beat to death with a crowbar and exploded.
Yeah,
They came back.
Barbara's his only daughter right now.
Even though she has a dad.
Yeah, but, if we're talking in Bat family sense.
Yeah, the back.
And it's like when Damien was his youngest, his my baby. It was like
That nearly killed Tim.
And you know what?
Awesome
And you guys
fight.
think his heart of hearts, he was really proud of that. He was like, dude, you can fight. I never teach you jack.
Yeah.
But
He's like, my job is so much easier. You were taught.
he had to teach him.
Assassin.
He had to teach Damien restraint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best part. He was like, you can fight. That's great, but
You gotta learn how to control.
oh,
But you're gonna kill everybody.
You're murderous. Oh.
I mean, and so
We'll have to talk about that one.
and especially with the Night of Owls thing, they had a nice when they had a nice bonding moment. They threw all that because the stuff that was happening to them. Where at one point Damien had to kill a guy to save Batman. It was like, and he was just like, "I understand, son. You had to kill him. Just don't do it again.
Yeah.
But you had to do what you had to do." And they hugged and stuff. It was a really,
really
I'm
good moment.
torn, but I think Scott Snyder Batman edges out Peter David and X Factor. And here's why.
Because the book's got heart.
No, because the ending was Shatterstar and Longshot.
Oh yeah,
That was the most confusing issue of
I'll give you
comic
that.
book.
I'll give you that.
And I was good with the endings of X Factor until I read that, and I was like, this book is ridiculous, and I threw it against the wall.
All right, let's lay that out because people have to know the ending because it makes no sense.
It's
Shatterstar is
Which is a Rob Liefeld creation.
yeah. Shatterstar is Longshot's dad, and he's also his son.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Time travel.
Time travel. Peter David was like, yeah, guess what? That's your dad. Guess what? You're his son. What?
I think that was basically Peter David flipping off Rob Liefeld in the end.
He was like, guess what? He was like, guess what? I can do that because Marvel backs me now. Bam. Your characters just got owned.
They got owned the minute that Liefeld touched pencil to paper. That's when they got owned.
But see, they made him cool. Like, I mean, like Liefeld. I mean, they did a really good job with the Shatterstar. They took all the pouches off. They took that ridiculous helmet thing off.
I mean, his
boxing helmet.
The high school amateur boxing helmet.
Yeah, his swords in like in his arm, in his sleeve, like a sheath in his like whatever arm. So he ain't gotta have all the swords hanging out. They just come out and they can go back in and disappear, whatever.
Slip space. It's cool.
Yeah,
Dimensional pockets in my arms.
Well, no, it's like the pop blades.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong. I love the team. I love Richter and having the whole Richter getting his powers back, and Monet and Strong Guy. It was a great
everything
stuff.
worked out except for that one thing, which really does hurt my brain too.
Yeah. But
He's your
why? He's your why?
but also your son.
I
This
forgot.
doesn't make any sense.
It's just like in what's that show?
Time travel can't do that.
No,
that doesn't make any
exactly.
sense at all.
Futurama, where he's his own
Fry's his own
grandfather.
even they were like, this happened. They were just like, just go with it. That's what they.
The team was like,
they were just like. They were like, listen, we'll just mind wipe Dazzler.
Yeah, whatever.
They'll mind wipe Dazzler, so they'll never know that Dazzler is long shot to mommy. And
also his girlfriend.
yeah, and it was the weirdest.
She just puts her finger.
That's why
I would.
And for that single issue, is why Batman wins. That single issue. That single issue.
No. It's just Scott Snyder's Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
Just that one.
Yeah, just Batman.
Eli goes, there is no other Batman.
Because Scott Snyder's Batman doesn't have an epic fall like that.
Batman!
Alright, let's go over it.
Yeah!
The top 3 comics. The Time Restoring Trust trustee winner. Comic of the year is Scott Snyder's Batman. Runner-up is Peter David's X Factor, and the Green Lantern's New Guardians comes in number 3. Those are your comics that you should be reading right now. Thank you for joining us. And coming up will be TV.
Television!
That's a mystery fight.
Television
I don't know
shows.
about that one, buddy.
Shows on the network.
You should be watching Total Divas.
I think actually we do 3 of us have one show.
What is your DVR recording?
Mostly stuff with beards on it.
Stuff with beards?
That
Alright.
Dynasty?
Well, we're out.